Hello, I'm Robert, and I thought I'd show you something I can do on this recorder that's supposed to be impossible, but actually anyone can do it on any recorder if you know how to do it. And this is that I can change the pitch of the note at the same volume, and I can change the volume at the same pitch, just by the way I blow into it. So for instance, let's raise the pitch at the same volume. So you hear two notes about the same volume, but it's going up in pitch and down in pitch. And then the other way around, you can play at the same pitch in different volumes. So you can make really quite a big difference in volume at the same pitch. That's supposed to be impossible. So how is it that I'm doing that? Well, first of all, the reason it's supposed to be impossible is because you've got this airway there, and the air goes in there and comes out there. And how can the way you breathe in there change the stream that's coming out there? Surely it's always going to be the same, no matter how you blow in. At the same pressure, you get the same kind of stream coming out. Well, what do you have to do to try this out, to see that it does actually work first, and then you can start thinking about how it works. Then, first of all, to get the highest volume at a particular pitch, then just blow steadily down the airway as steadily as you can. No, nothing to disturb the airstream. And now, to get the opposite, blow across the top and try and get as much disturbance in the airstream as possible. And so that's the kind of two extremes of it. And you can see how it's almost sort of breaking up when I do that. If I do a really extreme, if you kind of sort of almost blow across, like it's a flute or something, it gets so disturbed, you just get like that. And that's, very faint, but rather kind of really kind of strange kind of note. And that's the kind of quietest you can get. And so what I think is going on there is that by blowing across, you're creating little eddies in the airstream. And it's called turbulence. And turbulence, once you've created turbulence, then it's very persistent. And so it would easily survive, these little eddies will survive from there to the edge there, where the sound is made. And so you get the same pitch, but because you've got the pitches controlled by the fingering and the pressure of the air, and I'm not really sure exactly how the physics works, but I think it's probably something to do with the turbulence, and maybe someone who's expert on the acoustics of woodwinds, and particularly recorders and things like that, can actually work out how it works. But it certainly works as a technique. And so you can do things like, you can change it while the note is playing. So you change the angle of the air. You don't actually even need to move your head. If you look at, when I'm playing, I don't seem to move my head around and just blow at different angles and so on. So I'm not quite sure exactly how you do it, but you kind of get used to it. But you can do notes that get louder without changing pitch. Like that. And you can also get notes that change pitch without changing volume. So that's if you do the turbulence, then blow it up with the same volume as the other one, then it'll go up in pitch. So you can try that with. See, that's even quieter but much higher in pitch, just by changing the angle. It's quite difficult to get to that pitch by blowing across. That volume by blowing across. Of course, be careful you're not leaking. I sometimes accidentally leak a little bit. Of course, that makes it much easier to change the volume. But so that's the technique. And I just want to talk about the other things that all recorder players know about, which is that you can also change the there's the tonguing. So you go l, d, t, and that's the start, the way the note starts. And you've also got echo tonguing, where you go t, t, where you just kind of make a very short note, and then it kind of echoes through the and you get it can sound a little bit longer than it really is. So it's quite difficult, but that can something like that. So while since I practice a lot of echo tonguing, but you can get these notes that are just very quiet because they're just echo tongued, and they can fill up more time than you think they would. And then you get just the way that the note starts goes with a little bit of how it starts can also change, especially if it's a short note, but just any note, the way it starts. So I'll just I'll do t, the, the. And you see how each one, if you can hear a difference. Let's try the t and the l. So we've got that variation. I know recorders do that, use that all the time. And then you can also, of course, not have any tonguing at all, and just go. You need to do very clean finger work, and then you can get smooth transition between the notes without any tonguing at all. So you normally records going as they play, or whatever, depending on the rhythm and what they're doing. And then, but then if they want to play legato, then they just don't tongue at all, and you just go. So those are the different techniques that you can use to change the kind of dynamics and make it much more varied dynamics. And so you can do things like I'm increasing the volume with those three notes, which normally you're not supposed to be able to do, but you can. And so and then I often make the notes swell a little bit in the middle, just give it a little bit more of something. So and then when you end the note as well, then you can listen to the note kind of fade away and just try and keep the same pitch as it fades away. So that's another part of the note. There's the start of it and there's the end of it. So you get that. So how you actually close and end you stop the note by going ta, and then you use your tongue to close it. So how your tongue closes it also affects the end of the note. If you're tonguing each individual note instead of playing the legato. So those are things. So most of that is just absolutely standard. That's how you play the recorder. But this turbulence idea of changing the volume, then that's not in the recorder books that I've read, and it seems to be a new thing. And instead you get people saying it's impossible. And that exercise I just showed you of blowing across the top, I've never seen that in the recorder technique books that I've read. And I just never come across anyone suggesting that. It's a copy I made myself. And I'm sure recorder players do it to a certain extent, kind of intuitively. But if you know what you're doing, and you if you just do that experiment and you try blowing across and down, and hear different volumes and hear how you can change the pitch. If you're doing microtonal recorder work, then changing the pitch can be quite good. I mean, I'm not really, I don't have the kind of control at the moment to really do good microtonal recorder work, but sometime hopefully I will. And you can, but you can do it. You can build. You can do all sorts of microtonal things by just different fingerings. Sort of thing like that, changing, adding extra fingers, and then you can also do it. If you know exactly where the note is that you want to hit, then you can hit it with by just shifting the note up and down as you like it, wherever you want it to go. So you want it a bit higher. So you can do that as well. Just make little shifts in the pitch, or you could use that to correct a note if it's out of tune or something as well. So, but you could use that in principle. You could use that to play music in different tuning systems, just by playing how you blow the notes without any fingering or anything, just by the blowing. So again, that's a discovery that I made, and as far as I know, I mean, let me know if you know of anyone else who has described this discovery. I made it quite a while ago, a decade ago or so, and I don't think I'm listening to modern recorder players, professional recorder players from Academy. They're just not doing this. So I think it might be new. Just interested if anyone knows if anyone else is doing this.